This will be a mental health series. This is similar to something I did quite a few years ago, but no longer exists on the channel anymore. Now, when talking about mental health and stuff of that nature, I believe at least the way that I want to do it is transparency. So, quite a few disclaimers here. I am not a professional. I have never been trained. I just suffer with a hell of a lot of mental health problems slash quote unquote conditions. And I've been through a lot in my life. So, not professional, no training whatsoever. This is just me as a human being, just talking through experiences, possibly talking through, again, quote unquote, conditions. And that is it, basically. I hope through this series that I will possibly be able to work through some stuff, maybe be able to help people, maybe, but mainly it's because I'm not a professional. I guess this is a place where I can talk that is safe and will be safe for you guys. So whether you guys get in on the conversation or not, that is completely up to you, and I completely understand. But more so, this is kind of a safe place. I can express myself. You guys can express yourself. Within that, though, trigger warnings. I'm not intending to trigger anyone. I don't want that, but obviously when talking about mental health, stuff can get quite heavy, stuff can get quite serious, as it should be with mental health. Yeah, so I'm not intending to trigger, but trigger warnings ahead. Okay, guys, this one's gonna be a bit of a weird one, and I might pop off in this video, so you've been warned, basically. Right. So, and before I, fully dive into this, and I haven't, wrote anything down, as always, for this video, but me and a friend were talking, and we were talking about pain and mental health, and kind of the idea of a scaling system, right? So, if you go to a hospital and they're like, how much pain are you in from, 1 to 10, right? And I understand why that exists. It is there so then hopefully they can gauge what to do, right, to help you. So, I'm not popping off at any doctors or hospitals or anything with anything to do with that, right? Or if police or fire, so just get that out of your fucking heads. Oh god, I can fucking feel it. Oh, people that know me know I'm about to fucking pop off. Right, so I'm not talking about that, because that is very important and that helps them do their job to hopefully help you, right? So that aside, right, but me and this friend were talking about the scaling system, and it really kind of raised this question in my head about this dumb fucking idea that we have in society, right? Because we have our own internal scaling system, right? With pain, with mental health, with emotional, and yeah, I'm gonna say it, spiritual. Okay. Okay, here we go. We all have that internal, right? And if we're having that conversation with someone, and by the way, me and that friend are fucking awesome, by the way. This isn't a, like, pop-off video to that person. I'm mentioning that for reference, and also a thank you, because you fucking stirred that fire back up in me. And I love it. I love it so much. Anyway, so we were talking about it, and, like, it kind of became this conversation, and we talked about a lot of other things, but we kind of started the conversation, or it got to the fact that it's such a dumb fucking thing, right? Because, and I let me think for a moment, because I don't want to explain too much about their life, because that's not fair, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so we were talking about the fact that they live day to day normally somewhere on a scaling, right? And we were talking about the fact that, well, that's their base, so that's their zero, right? And hopefully they won't mind me saying that. And I am going to send a video to them and be like, you need to listen to this, please. Just because I'm so happy that I've got that fucking fire back. Anyway, but so there's this whole thing, right, that in our own heads, right, anyone that we see, whether we know them or not, that they are on a neutral of 0, right? That they are fine, and only with an interaction or something that happens does that move them somewhere on a scaling system, right? And we all kind of internally do that with any, like, situation or, like, conversation or whatever, right? And I really start getting hot about it because it's such a bullshit thing that we impose our own, like, our own fucking scaling system on people, right? Like, so let's say somebody hurts their hand, right? But somebody, like, let's call them Bob for the purposes of this, right? But Bob has just broken their hand, right? So you've hurt your hand, but Bob's broken their hand. That does not take away from the person who's hurt their hand, and obviously, yes, that doesn't take away from Bob. And rather than a conversation and a meaningful, like, attachment that could be done there, and sharing in pain, and the empathy of that, it turns into this fucking pissing contest, right? And it turns into this, well, I'm here in a cast, and it's, yeah, well, 3 months ago I broke my finger, and, like, it's fucking bullshit. Like, it is fucking bullshit that we are all wired in this way now, where it's this constant topping and pissing contest. And yes, in some situations, like, yes, people do have it worse, obviously, right? All over the world now, right? So I get that. But that doesn't then give the right to go, well, I'm a 10 and you're a fucking 3. Well, that 3, in that person's eyes, saying I'm a 10 and rah, 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 that 3 could be their baseline for years and years and years. So even though in that moment, yes, you are at that 10, and that's perfectly valid, but that person is forever at that 3. They never get a day where they are at neutral and they are at 0, right? They never fucking get that moment's break. And it's really pissing me off, the fact that people will look at me and see everything that I can't fucking do. And this part's coming up because somebody's really fucking pissed me off with this. I might actually send this video to them because I'm fucking sick of it. The thing, oh, I can do this, I can do that, oh, it's a simple thing. According to who, motherfucker? According to who? What, you make the rules of which we are all judged by? There are things that I know for a fucking fact that you have done in your life and you have struggled with that haven't had a problem with. So does that mean it's fucking easy? Do I then get to take your 10 situation and say, oh, well, it's a fucking 0? No. Nobody has the right to fucking do that. Nobody. And it's starting to really trigger me in life. It's like, it's really starting to fucking piss me off. And, like, I understand that there are moments where if somebody has moved up this fucking bullshit scaling system that we all apparently fucking live by, that, you know, if something has just happened, like, yeah, I do understand that, right? If something is happening in the moment, so I'm not saying that our own shit shouldn't be put on pause, or that we shouldn't be able to acknowledge if something is happening there and then, right? And acknowledge that, and kind of be able to jump in if we can and help and put our shit aside for a second. Again, if you can as an individual. But that then doesn't mean that you get to fucking, like, the person who you've just helped, who is at 10 currently, that does not mean that you get to then fucking dismiss that 5 that somebody could be at. Because you don't know how long they've been at that 5. You like, it, again, it's such a bullshit thing, and it's such a bullshit system. And again, I'm going to repeat this. I don't mean if you've gone to the doctors and they ask a pain scale, right? They are doing that to get information and help. Like, hell, I'm constantly having to fucking do that now because of my own shit. Or if you're having a conversation with a friend, like, and I actually mean a friend, not someone who's gonna fucking piss on you. But like an actual friend, or a family member, whatever, and you're trying to talk the what's going on, and you're using that as a kind of reference point. I understand that, but it's not fucking gospel, motherfuckers. Like, that 10 to somebody okay, right, that 10 that they are going off in your own internal scaling system could be a 6. It does not matter. For that person, it is a 10. That's all that fucking matters. That's all that matters. And I understand what happens when a 10 and a 10 smash together, right? And I understand that that can be like a moment, right? Like that can be a thing, right? Where two things collide, and it's the same, I guess, for the purposes of this, metrics, like smashing together, right? So I completely understand that. I do. And that's when it can become, like, you know, things can go up in the air and bubble and stuff. But, like, we need to, like, judge ourselves by our own internal scaling system. Fair enough, because we all have it, right? We all do it. Again, in whatever situation, whether it's, are you having a good day? And whatever your answer is, that doesn't matter for the purposes of this conversation. You know where on your own scaling system where you are, right? Day to day. In all aspects and all kind of avenues within that, right? But if we went off this dumb ass fucking scaling system of, well, I'm a 3, and then suddenly you say, oh, well, I'm a 0 today, right? I'm doing fine. Suddenly that 3 fucking vanishes that you were at, like, a day, or maybe even a few hours ago. Like, we need to stop fucking doing this. Because it's causing this divide and pissing contest and competition almost with everyone. And it's bullshit. It is absolutely. We all want to feel like we're validated, and that I understand, right? That like, trust me, that I fucking understand. but like, we need to stop playing this comparison game with everything, and we need to just let ourselves be within it. And if we're able, and I know I really struggle with this, invite people into that and not have them judge or go off their own metrics. Now, as I say that, what I also realize is we all can only go off our own personal experiences. So going back to what I was saying before, that I was talking to a friend, they were talking about something that I have no comparison. I have nothing to go off, right? Let me take a drink, guys. Oh, okay, right. That was a lot of talking. But we all have our own comparison to try and empathize, not to have a pissing contest, right? But so this friend was explaining something that they go through, and again, I don't want to explain too much, but they go through this stuff, at least with what I understood, daily. And I said, well, the only thing that I can compare that to is if you stub your toe. And it's that sudden shock, right? It feels like the worst pain in the world, weirdly, right? Or step on Lego sort of thing, right? But does that mean that my pain for the stubbing of toe is now my reference point for somebody else's pain on their own scaling? No, motherfucker! Like, stop, like, this really bugs me, right? Because the conversation with the friend then went into understanding, or as much as we could, right? As much as we could give each other empathy and understanding. And that's the way it should be. And I understand that that can be exhausting, and we all need breaks from that. Like, me and this friend have got a really good relationship where it's like, look, like, for example, like, look, Neo, I need to fuck off for a few days, or look, friendo, like, I need to, like, disappear for a day, right? So we have that communication, and then we'll get back and talk, right? And be like, okay, well, what was going on? Did I do anything? And it doesn't turn into this pissing contest, right? Like, I remember we basically both of those tens, right, smacking together and clashing. We had one of these moments, and after we had both kind of gone away and did what we had to do, we came back and we went, well, this is what was going on with me, and this is what was going on with them. And like, it shocked me because this person was like, oh, well, you win hands down. And I'm not quoting, I'm paraphrasing here, but I was like, oh my god. And the thing is, we could laugh about it, right? And I'd be like, well, no, that's definitely worse. And they were like, no, well, that's definitely worse, or like whatever, right? But we it didn't turn into, oh, well, actually my life's been hell because of this and this, and actually now we need to deal with all of my shit, right? Which, and people who have had those sort of conversations will know exactly what I'm talking about. They will. Where it turns into that one person leads the entire conversation, talks about what they want to talk about, and then the person who hasn't been able to talk and talk about anything they're going through suddenly doesn't get to say. Now, I guess we're all guilty of that sometimes, right? Because our main priority is ourselves, right? Our internal scaling system tells us that we need to get this out, we need to do that, right? So I understand that. Like, I've been guilty of it. Like, I'll run to a friend and go, blah, 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 blah. You know, I call it verbal vomiting because that's basically what it is. I'll get everything out and it won't necessarily make sense. But then, go back and be like, okay, well, what's going on with you? Or I remember a different friend now. Well, actually, I don't even know if we're friends anymore because anyway. That's a whole other thing, right? But I was going through a really difficult time, like one of the worst times in my life. But a friend, I had rang them to talk about my shit, and someone else was going on with them, and it basically, and I did get to say what was going on with me to credit to this person, but then the conversation flipped and they were telling me what was going on with them. And rather than the typical thing of, oh yeah, but let's get back to me. No, I was happy to listen. And even in one of the worst times in my life, and again, like, it goes back to that pissing contest, right? It goes back to that, like, in my head, that was one of the worst times in my life. But I was still able to, like, fucking take myself off the fucking pedestal and let them talk, right? Let them have the spotlight for a second. Project Spotlight. Anyway, oh god, I really am on one today, aren't I? And I'm not cutting any of this, by the way. Like, you guys are just gonna have to listen through it. Hopefully you listen through it. But we need to stop doing this shit that my 10 means that's what everybody else's 10 is, or well, I'm at a 3 or 4 every single day and you're at a 1, so that means that your 1 doesn't mean shit, right? Or I'm at a 10 but you're at a 3 or 4 every single day, so your 3 or 4 doesn't mean shit. Motherfucker, that person is living with that 24/7 every single day. Like, and it's really been bugging me. Like, it's really been bugging me. And I knew I was going to get fired up about this video. And I want to clarify, because a lot of people are accuse me of this. I am not angry. I am passionate about this. There's a big fucking difference. If I was angry, I would wait for me to calm down and then do the video on it. So this is passion. There is something wrong, and I'm sick of not talking about shit that I'm seeing that just seems to be everywhere. Fucking everywhere, right? And it oh god, it makes me feel like I've got fucking maggots on my skin. Not that I've ever had maggots. Anyway, again, like, right, there's going to be someone going, well, I had maggots on my skin. What? Like, it's a fucking example. It's a metaphor. And look, guys, I understand that, you know, there are times when we can't be empathetic, when we can't pick up the phone, when we can't answer a message from someone. I get that. We've all done it. We're all entitled to that. But just fucking say. Like, and that's all, like, most of the time, that's all it takes. Or if you're going to message someone, and I need to do this a bit more and learn this, is that, you know, if you're going to, as I say, verbally vomit over everyone, or the person you're about to talk to, like, say, look, I'm not asking for help. I just want to, like, fucking release. I just want to burst, right? And sometimes that's all it can take, you know, and it can feel so much better. And even if that person hasn't got a fucking Scooby-Doo what the fuck you're talking about, right? You can still listen, and you can still give them that time, still give them that platform, and not be like, oh yeah, well, the other week I saw Linda and she no longer has a hand, right? Like no, like sorry to any Lindas out there, but it's you know, it just like, it's like, stop doing. Can we stop doing this? And I understand it's going to come up every now and then, and we may not even realize that we're doing it. But then after the fact, right, look back and see what you've done. Because there's, like, I'm angry at so many people right now. And it's, oh, why are you coming at me with anger? Why the fuck do you think? Stop expecting everyone to do the thinking fucking for you. Figure it out. Show the same respect that you would want somebody to give you. Right? And then if they truly are lost, then fair enough, explain it. But we are so caught in this thing of just this topping scaling system, right? And I've had enough of it, and I'm going to start just ending conversations if it happens. Well, no, it's not a conversation, I guess that's the point, but ending pissing contests and not even bothering with it. If it's a conversation like me and my friend had, fine. But I'm so fucking sick of it, and I'm so sick of appealing to it, almost encouraging it, right? Because I'm allowing it to go on rather than taking myself, again, for myself, out of that situation and being like, you know what, you can go piss in the corner or go piss to somebody else, right? And you can go fucking deal with it over there, because I'm not doing that, right? And sometimes it's fun to have a bit of a pissing contest, right? I want to, like, clarify that, but not over serious shit, right? Sometimes it's like, oh, well, I got the new console, or I got this, or I got, like, that can be fun, right? And I'm not talking about that. Sometimes it's fun to be like, oh, look at my new shiny. So, like, sometimes it's fine, and sometimes it's fine to kind of, you know, just sling in that a little bit, you know? It's fun. But not with this serious stuff, and not when it comes down to when the actual thing isn't even fucking talked about. It's just, oh, well, I'm here. Oh, well, actually, I'm here. Oh, well, actually, I'm here. Like, just stop it. We're making things worse for everybody else and ourselves. Like, can we just, oh, God. Guys, do me a favour. If this video has helped with me just being a little bit more raw, like, I kind of feel like the old DN Neo right now, let me know, because I don't really know how this video's gonna go. And if you think this video will help someone, or audio, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, please share it to those people. I'm not asking for a mass sharing, but, like, share it to... These are the point of these mental health videos, and I understand this was a bit of a more of a rant, but there was a serious mental health point in here, or just society point in here. So please do that, genuinely. And it's, you know, just, can we stop scaling and trying to top each other? Just, can we, please, can we stop trying to do it? Because it's fictional bullshit, basically. Like, and I'm still so wired up, and I'm so pissed off about it. But I'm so glad I had this conversation with my friend, and it really helps me, and I want to thank that friend. I'm not going to say their name, I'm not going to say any more about them, because I don't want to, and I don't have permission, but, like, this was really important for me to talk about, and hopefully really important for you to listen to, and especially for me to get off my chest. And I guess, you know what, yeah, so I'll leave it at that. And guys, can we stop scaling each other? please, and just go out there and be kind to someone.